Enashipai basically means a place of happiness. It's derived from a Maasai name, and a lot of that has to do with where we are. We're in Naivasha, we're in the Rift Valley. This had traditionally been home of the Maasai, so there's a lot of Maasai influence and culture in this area, and we wanted to borrow from that.
Well, I interacted with Enashipai even before it became Enashipai. I think previously I came for a wedding here, and it was, I think, the Holiday Inn. And then the next time there was this massive hotel that had come up that's like 5-star in Naivasha, took Naivasha by storm.
My earliest memory of Enashipai goes back before this place became Enashipai. And being in the event space, I have interacted with Enashipai ever since I moved out and became an entrepreneur. Last year, before Corona hit, I think we were the last conference that Enashipai hosted, because we came down with a client for a week. And immediately we went back to Nairobi a week later. The president, Corona hit, and the president locked down the country.
The first time I was coming to Enashipai, and I first got my appointment to come to Enashipai, it didn't cross my mind that I would eventually stay this long. Because like anybody else will tell you, as you pass by the main road, the highway, if you look to your left or right, depending on which direction you are going, Naivasha looks a shabby, dusty, dry place. But when we got along Moi South Lake Road, the scenario changed a bit, and the impact was even more bigger when I got into Enashipai itself. This is a property which was lush green. The structure was unique. The pavements, the paths, the layout of the place. So 2014, the year that I got that first experience and interaction with Enashipai.
Enashipai has been exceptional. When we come and sell an idea, in itself, it's this dream and thing that you have, that when you're implementing, then it has to then come all the way to the ground, to the people who will use it day by day. And just the experience that we have had, from the time that, we start with an idea of building what an online experience for a customer should look like, to when they come to the hotel, to how they check in, to when they are checking out, how the bill is sent out, and building that whole experience together. It's been an exceptional journey because they are always willing to listen, and they've given us feedback. A lot of times we're not the experts in hotels. We came to learn a lot of things about hotels that we assume that when you're a consumer, So also getting that feedback and them telling you, look, so this is how it is, but then a lot of customers, or this is how we think it would work better. So that synergy was exceptional for us, to a level that now when I come as me and my family, I'm home.
I'd say I was here at inception, exactly 10 years ago. So Wanjari invited my daughter and I to pose for pictures for a brochure for the marketing material. And we also came as guests, so I can say we got the first taste of Enashipai hospitality 10 years ago.
I think I do remember what the room looked like. I remember the food, and I just remember it being a comforting experience. Yeah, and the hospitality, like you said. I mean, now looking back, I'm assuming I probably had a good time, because I know when I'm not having a good time. Yeah.
So the vision of this place was, we don't disturb this place. We keep it as natural as possible. What inspired me actually was the acacia tree. I told myself, we will not design a building that will be taller than the acacia tree. And that's what you find today. Beyond that, we wanted to use the acacia tree as a symbol. So all the buildings you find here actually are a symbol of the acacia tree. You'll see the poles that we use. We have poles at an angle, 60 degrees, 45 degrees. Those poles, gum trees, they represent the acacia branches. And then the roofs, I'm sure you've noticed the roofs are different. I call them the flying roofs. They represent the topmost branches. That's why you see the architecture, the roofs of all the buildings here, they are all flying. It's like these buildings is a multiplication of many acacia trees.
Enashipai, it's a name for a state of happiness, you know. And when they started saying that, already my thoughts started going through, and I'm thinking, okay, happiness. And already I knew it was a Maasai name. We came up with the idea of the Maasai bridal ceremony. If you go to the reception, you even see a beautiful picture of a bride and groom, Maasai bride and groom. Now during Maasai ceremony, you have the pots. So I thought, let's take a pot and turn it into a reception counter. But because you can't have a small reception counter, let's stretch it. So we stretched it, and I must say, I think one of the hardest joinery piece to do, because they are little pieces of wood joined together. After that, then we started looking for other way to bring in the Maasai necklace. It became the main feature, which we now carried on into the rooms. I'll give an example like the bedhead, which is renowned. Everybody talks about that bedhead. It has a Maasai necklace. And then there are some features which are structures that are shaped like horns. We brought in another ceremonial feature into the room, and if you look at the handles, they're not typical handles. There's a coil. Now that's another ornament that's used by the Maasais during circumcision. We brought in now the concept of also beaded. Instead of just buying a lampshade, why don't we get Maasais to go and bead our lampshades? So now to talk about the other public areas, especially the reception, we brought in the water feature, but instead of just doing a water feature, we did pots. Now the bar, we created a concept of wildlife. And one of the things that we did is build furniture. If there's a bar stool that has hoofs on it. So, and I've sat there and some people are like, have you noticed that chair has hoofs? You know, and we bring the antelope, you know, the horns. So where you step on the bar stool, there are actually those sort of horns. You can see the shape of them, of the antelopes. Now, there's a project where I'm seated right now. This is a spa. It's a world-class spa, very exquisite. My brief on this spa was don't spare anything on this spa. We want high-end. We want, just go for it. And I'm so happy for them that they've managed to get all this recognition many times, not just once, for this spa. And this is the heart of Enashipai.
I think above all, our culture really is family. I want to think that we care for each other. We're in this thing together, and we work in the best interest of everybody. We try to do things communally, or at least have a communal outlook on what's best for us. And a lot of that probably was, you know, picked up and instituted by our late chairman. He was a pretty easy, down-to-earth guy. He was approachable. So I think he set the tone for how things should be. He loved, you know, he didn't love, you know, many complicated things, so tried to make things easy. He said hi to everybody, so everybody is used to saying hi to everybody, even as you pass around.
He used to give you that chance to work. He used to give you that, and he never told you anything twice. There was a day he came, I think I was down here, the club has 2 floors, I was down here, he came, went upstairs. It was around 5 in the evening. Okay, the club was not busy then. He found the DJ open, the DJ booth open, nobody there. Came and took the kijana kuja up. Why is that place open? For him, if he told you something twice and you did it, you'd be the best of friends. You'd be the best of friends. And I think that is, he gave people in this hotel that chance to speak out. You have an idea, you used to walk around, you talk to him. And that is also one thing about Enashipai. The managers, they listen to the staff. And they really accept criticism and both negative and positive. And I think that is also something that I've taken from this place.
I remember our chairman came in. I don't know what had distracted him out there. I gathered all courage and he was not looking good, and I went and engaged him and I made sure he laughed. I remember we were seated right here at the terrace and I told him, you know, I have a small medicine for you. I'm not a doctor by profession, but we are also kitchen doctors. I need you to have, you know, your kind of tea that your kind of tea that you really like. And I knew what he wanted on the side, so I made a very good snack for him, and we engaged each other and we talked. And to some extent, I can say, alongside being an employer, he surely and honestly became like a personal friend, and I became his personal chef, as much as I was also engaged in other activities.
2018, we lost our chairman. 2018. That was another very bad experience for us. I remember my last encounter with him. It was in Olkarau. He used to throw a party to the extended family towards Christmas, just before Christmas. And me and Chef Sammy used to be part of that team that used to do the catering there. Things went on as usual, and then the last day on a Sunday when he was about to leave us behind, he called me and Chef Sammy and he told us, you guys and your team can enjoy the rest of the mbuzi that has remained there, and maybe knock down a few bottles of drinks there. So that was the last encounter with him. A week later, then the breaking news came.
I do a lot of consultancy with different clients, and Enashipai is actually a favorite location for many corporates because of the Entomo conference space, because it's built for purpose. You can have multiple conferences ongoing. So I was there. It came to a point where I'm there almost twice, thrice a year. And one time I'm there, and I bump into Chairman. Chairman had a place where he used to like having his dinner, okay, in the coffee lounge. And I just happened to bump into him as I was walking, and he was walking in, and he's like, Carol, come and sit with me. Chairman had the most hilarious stories, but let me digress, as any Kenyan does. One of my favorite parts was that he had very green fingers, and Enashipai is beautiful. It's full of trees and very lush greenery. And I was like, please tell me how you do this, because I'm a tree hugger. I've planted about 15,000 trees in my farm in Nanyuki. So we would talk for hours about which are the best trees to plant. So you're thinking, this is chairman of Enashipai. They're going to bring out roll out all the stops in the dinner that's brought for him. It'll be like a 5-course gourmet meal. Kienyeji chicken, cabbage, and chapos. It was so good. So good. And I was like, Chairman, please call the chef, because I want to know what he did. So because I go there so often, I would actually make sure, because first you see if Chairman's car is in the parking. If Chairman's car is in the parking, I knew the time that he used to have dinner. Hi, Chairman! Oh my God, you're here! Great to see you. And you're such a gentleman. Have a seat, Carol, and have a seat. What's for dinner today? I miss him. He was a gentleman.
Enashipai ni kampuni mzuri, sababu wanatutriti mzuri sana. Hata wageni wale wanakuja hapa, wanafurahia hapa, sababu ya ni kusafi, ni kuzuri, na pia tukienda kwa lake wanafurahia sana huko kwa sababu ya good environment, na kuna ndege nyingi na kuna wanyama wengi katika Crescent Island.
I was passing and I saw a new hotel and nikasema niingie. So when I popped in, I met a lady by the name, I think Tabitha, and somebody by the name Peter. Na they welcomed me very well. Nikasikia ni kama nimefika. And by that time tulikuwa na mkutano na tukaja hapa tukawa na the group ambayo tulikuja na wao, and it was really good. We enjoyed the place, and from then on tukasema hapa ndio nyumbani.
I think Enashipai has always stood way above its peers in terms of customer service, in terms of ambience, in terms of experience. I mean, it's one of those places where it's our #1 destination in terms of out-of-town destination venues. Our role as wedding planners specifically, I think weddings are such a different ball game from any other event. They're too personal, they can never be repeated, and it has to be perfect. And a lot of times you have the best laid plans, but on the day, more often than not, they never work that way. One of the things that we love about Enashipai is how well we coordinate with the guys on the ground. Guys are always very friendly. Now, Dorothy and I, as wedding planners, we're very detailed and very, very specific about how we want it to run. And a lot of time is we do not want to just copy from what we did last weekend to this one. Every wedding is very different in its own way. And that brings a lot of challenges to a lot of people because they feel, why are we changing? And it's not broken. So what happens is sometimes you come with a lot of changes beforehand, but the team is always so professional, so willing to listen, which to us is very crucial, where they're willing to listen and say, what can we do different for this one? And that is even before. Then on the day, very much happy to help to make sure that at the end of it all, the wedding is something that the couple have always dreamt of.
Lake Naivasha is right here, okay? And who would have thought that this kind of magnificent place would be existing in this place? So what it brought is I think Naivasha became like a destination. And it's not just a thought. You hear now people saying on weekends, hey, I'm going to Naivasha. And I just met like 2 weeks ago, I was coming here to the spa, and we stopped at the junction, and there was a couple there whose car had broken down. They had come all the way from Nyeri, and I asked them, hey, where are you guys going? He said, well, we are staying at Enashipai this weekend. I was like, all the way from Nyeri, why? They said, we love that place. So there is a uniqueness that people love, very close to the lake, the accessibility to the lake. And then the atmosphere here is very calming, all the quietness. And I love the friendliness. You are treated like loyalty from the very entrance. If you ever want to feel good, come to Enashipai.
I've worked here since 2007 up to date, and my journey has been awesome. We started with 25 rooms, now we are at 135 rooms. There have been challenges here and there, but we have been coping with them. I was working as a room steward, promoted, now I am a floor supervisor. And I have learned a lot, and I am growing day by day.
For me, what's lovely, because I work with the team. I am their cheerleader, I am the mirror, is how every time I go back, I notice something that we talked about has happened. Now that is very cool. So yeah, it's a journey that we're going to be on hopefully for a long time. It will be a second home. It's just such a lovely space of tranquility and just very good people. That's the one thing I keep saying. Where do you find these good people? It's a ton of really good people working around there. They're extremely respectful. They are very kind and giving.
We call Enashipai Naivasha's finest, a super 5-star hotel in Naivasha, beautiful rooms. So for our business of honeymooners, anniversary, birthdays, who want a very cozy place, romantic, at least this is the place that we recommend. And also the luxury clients, we also host the high-end conferencing. This is the place we recommend to our clients. So when they come here, you are sure that they will be happy and there will be no complaint, because our customer satisfaction is our biggest goal, because we know when our customer is happy, even tomorrow we will also be happy to have them back.
In our county, we brag about this place as one of those that can host high impact meetings that can compete effectively with the facilities in Nairobi and even places like Dubai. Those can be easily afforded here in Enashipai. This is a place where whenever my children have a chance to talk about a holiday, Enashipai always comes first. So whichever way you look at it, for business, for leisure, for those that are traveling, for those that are coming here to see our heritage, those that are coming to the national park, this place is supportive of all what you want to do. And you get everything here. There's the other software about Enashipai. Remember, this is an indigenous, locally owned enterprise. 100% Kenyan owned.
Naivasha is the business tourism destination in Kenya. And it's not just recent. It started a few years back when facilities such as this, came up. A lot of what we see in this country for general tourism is a concentration of tourism in a few areas. But business tourism spreads across. It is easier, and you find that some of the facilities are in places where there is no leisure tourism. Enashipai's presence here has made a big difference. When this facility was opened, I was at the KTB, I knew about it. We came, for opening, we came for farm trips with media. We have brought travel agents from around the world to come and sample this facility. We have worked with the management of Enashipai to jointly participate in marketing activities to promote this destination called Kenya. And they are very active in business tourism. You will find the marketing team, working with us in simple things like just hosting MICE media, business travel, MICE planners and people who are interested in growing the sector. So it is a key stakeholder, number one. And number two, the experience and the product that is here positions Kenya positively. It is a destination. It is not just a hotel. When you come here as a business traveler, you're coming for an event or for a conference, you want to bring your family because there's things for them to do as you attend your meeting. That is what you want to do as a traveler. You also want to be able to be in a destination where you're doing business and there's leisure. You're combining. That is where the new term called bleisure comes from. You want to have fun as you do business. You want to go, around and do a game drive just around the corner. You want to go to the lake and have a nice drive. There's a spa here. There's wellness. Everybody now, of course, wants some good life. You can get it here, and it's holistic. It's not just a one-off massage parlor where done and it is a wholesome experience. And for a business traveler, that is what you're looking for. And the fact that in business travel, we say 40% of travelers who go to a destination for business, within 5 years, return with either family or friend for leisure.
At Sunwords, we have a great relationship with Enashipai. We often take our client conferences and key learning events there. And that's because of the flexibility and adaptability that the Enashipai team always demonstrates. For example, we often hold conferences right on the edge of the lake under a marquee, and that just makes all the difference to the ambiance and lateral thinking that it pushes in the attendees. Enashipai even set up a special lunch for us right in the middle of the lake on an island with a great boat ride to get there. We've done some of our conference sessions at the nearby Hell's Gate, with rangers keeping watch. And we've even had an exclusive fine dining dinner in a special room, complete with choreographed plate uncovering of all the courses. This willingness to go beyond the norm and listen to unusual requests from us makes all the difference to the relationship. And that's why we keep coming back. So congratulations, Enashipai, on your first 10 years, and here's to the next 10.
When COVID started and obviously the government started taking measures to lock the country, it was very challenging in that not only do you have your bills that you need to continue paying, you absolutely have no guests coming in. So those are very, very challenging times, and they continue to be. COVID has been with us for about a year, maybe even just slightly over a year. So there are a few things that we've learned. We've learned to live with it. We've learned to live with the protocols. Obviously, what that meant is, everything is half or a third or whatever it was. We've had to change the way people meet in terms of social distancing, so you can accommodate less people in the conference rooms. You can accommodate less people in the restaurants, in the events grounds. So not only are you having to deal with, potentially running a sustainable business, you have less people with which to really manage that with. So it's been different. It's been challenging. It's been stressful for our staff. We've tried to offer support to them, and not only our staff. I'm sure even our customers come in. They are stressed. Everybody is stressed. So we try to make this one less stressful thing for them to do. We've had to learn how to operate with less, and I think that's going to be the future. We have to do more with less.
We hope and pray in this sector of tours and travel that issues of COVID can be behind us. Enashipai is one of our key employers within Naivasha. Key. That employs hundreds of young people, those that are coming out of college from this country of ours, of all walks of life.
Pre-COVID was okay. Post-COVID is where the uncertainty is just too much. Then you think things have settled down, you start peaking, you have events, then something is announced and everyone cancels. So last year when we closed the hotel, of course, that was something in my life I had never seen in the industry. It has never gotten that bad, but it got there this time, and we take each day as it comes. We're optimistic because I think we were used to the norm. So this is something that has come and just shook everybody, and not just Kenya. I mean, it's the whole world. So I can say it's an eye-opener, and it teaches us so many things things we never thought about. I feel like before COVID, we were in a comfort zone. Then this thing comes and you're like, wow, we're in the middle of a pandemic. How do we survive? We need masks, we need sanitizers. These are things in Kenya or even in the world most people didn't know. So I think it's been eye-opening. It has taught us to appreciate the little things, appreciate life. It's not guaranteed. Work harder.
I remember when we first started, a friend of mine was getting married. So we really needed to get this place up and running. And that was our really first function that we had towards the end of April. We had no dry runs. We were hoping the rooms and everything else would work as they were supposed to. And it was a challenging day for us. Not that things didn't work. I think it was almost baptism by fire. And we had a good time. I mean, we got over it. We got better. It formed a bit of what we are. I have memories of, there were times when we had lots of animals. I don't know where they came from. We had giraffes, buffaloes. I think nature just takes its course. So every once in a while you go down by the lake and, it's completely changed. So those are really good memories. We've had good events out here. We've had lots of weddings. We had a series of years when we had the Naivasha Fashion Weekend. And it was a charity weekend. So we had all these people coming to showcase and, model their clothes. And the funds that we got, we were able to direct them to about 5 or 6 charities that are in Naivasha. So those are good memories that we've had out here.
I actually have a love story. I can call it a love story with Enashipai. It started when I first visited. We came for some events in Naivasha, and then we ended up staying at Enashipai. That's how I first knew about Enashipai. Then when we were doing Trace Music Star was actually a music competition of a kind, because it was the first mobile-based music competition. So guys used to audition on phone. So it gave birth to what you call Airtel Trace Music Star. So Airtel was the overall title sponsors, that is, for Airtel Trace Music Star. And Enashipai was basically our go-to place, because when I visited Enashipai, I noticed that it had all the infrastructure that we wanted in one place. So it meant, as an event organizer, then I wouldn't be running to different places to get different services. For example, Enashipai is the only place that has a club, which is basically, world class inside the establishment itself. So when we were doing the event, we first had 13 African countries participating in this. So in each country, which I was managing 5 of those. So we had to do country finales. Then we also come and do a grand finale. So I used Enashipai to do the Kenyan finale, which was basically to select the top 5 contestants, then get a winner that was going to then compete with 12 other guys from the 12 other countries to make that team. So we used Enashipai to do the country finale. Then Enashipai was actually a unique place to have hosted the first ever grand finale of the competition. The mentor for the competition was Akon. So then we brought Akon all the way, and he graced the show here at Enashipai. And that's how we have a working relationship with Enashipai that still continues to date.
From a work perspective, it's just, we had quite a few leadership forums here. We normally would theme them, and Enashipai would be great in partnering with us, so we'd have different themes. Like one year we had a cowboy theme, a second year we had something to do with spaceships, like out of this world. So that's been some of the, it's the experiences, I think, that really bring up the different memories. So that for me has been just being able to look back. And in fact, some of my colleagues and I were talking the other day about how much we miss, being able to come out and do team buildings and trainings and even forums in places like Enashipai, because it really allows you to bond. And I think those are the memories that you create with people you love being around.
One of the things I like about Enashipai is the fact that they're very open to new ideas and to try new things. So this being the first jazz festival hosted by the hotel, that's out of the box, trying to put together the different crafts and vendors that would actually entice the Naivasha crowd to come and enjoy themselves. So it was nice because it was endorsing that community sort of living and interaction. So that was fun. It really, really was. Just as stressful on the back burner as it was to try and sell it, because anything new is difficult to, wrap your mind around and be part of. Most times people have the wait and see approach. You just try and then call me next time. I'll let you know if it's worth my time. So that was fun. And that's always been the journey with Enashipai and just how we do things. Trust me, there's always a twist to anything. It's never a Christmas, it's Christmas. No, it's Christmas with a twist. So we're always like, oh, okay, so it's Christmas, okay. What's the twist this time? Yeah, so that challenge, I think, is what keeps us excited to keep coming back and doing it with them.
Well, I remember one time I met the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. There was a time they were having a workshop here, so I got a chance to meet him, You know, my work is just to ferry guests using the golf cart. So they were having a lunch somewhere with our late chairman, Mr. Mwangi. So I got a chance to meet him. So I ferried him from the conference center to the place where they're having lunch. So that is the most memorable time I'm remembering. So I was scared because I was surrounded by heavy security guards. They were with their black suits and bulletproofs. I was unable to talk to him because of the way he was surrounded by the security guards.
One thing with Enashipai, it holds, you know, everybody from all walks of lives to the VVIP. So the one I remember is when we hosted the president here. It was such a big deal. And I remember some of my colleagues and my friends from work and were like, we have to say hi to him. We have to get his attention. We have to make sure he notices us. And they're like, okay, so they closed out this, you can't walk from this area to this area. So we quickly came and strategized ourselves in Entumo. Right at the reception, we're like, okay, we're front office, so we'll all stay here. And we kept making sure when he passes by, we have to shout his name. So he says hi to us. And he did, and he takes a picture with us. So I'm like thinking all the time we invested in just shouting his name so he can notice us just to say hi and take a picture. Really? I don't even know where that picture went to. How sad. Gosh.
We had my husband's 40th birthday in 2015. My husband and his best friend, you know, their birthdays are 1 month apart. And we had this wonderful James Bond themed party with about 30 of our friends. And the setup was so elaborate. You know, we actually felt like we were walking down the red carpet when we came in. The service was exemplary. They had really done up the room with, you know, James Bond themed decor. And we partied until 8 a.m. the next morning. Thank God that was before COVID, because it would have been very different if it was now, but that was one wonderful event that we had. You know, for me, I think that sticks out the most.
December of 2019, I think that's my highlight working at Enashipai, because even though I'm in reservations, my passion lies in events and entertainment, and I got to do that. I helped organize brunches, dinners, and I introduced karaoke at the club. It didn't go too well, but I can't complain because I had good turn-up of guests, and at least I got to get a taste of what organizing like a super big event looks like, and walk through the steps and learn and interact with people right at it. I think that was my highlight, for sure, it was my highlight.
We've had multiple interactions with the hotel, and I'm part of, Sunny Bindra runs a course called Leader Circle, and it was 1 year when the Leader Circle was at Enashipai, and we were blown away. So I went there as a participant, and they pulled out all the stops for the participants. It's very funny because this was 2017, COVID wasn't even a rumor, you know. But the whole seminar was held out by the lake. You know, where they do the weddings, it was right out by the lake. And this, you know, herd of hippos walked right past. It was fantastic. So the screens were out there the entire time we were seated outdoors. Honestly, it was, when I look back in terms of one of my best seminar experiences, that was one of them. And then they took it a notch higher, and we had now cocktails and a sundowner at the Yacht Club, which is on the way to Crescent Island. And the only way to get there is going by boat. So if you're a person of not liking boats, if you're not for the faint-hearted, that was not for you. But so we all climbed onto these boats and rowed and went up to the Yacht Club, which is a historical, you know, place. It's a historical site that I'd never heard. I've been to Naivasha all my life. I didn't know there was such a place. So we had a great experience, but I think the most memorable thing was just how the staff pulled out all the stops to ensure that each, you know, they kept upping the ante with each event that we had, because we were there for about 2 nights.
I had my 60th birthday. It was a surprise by my children. I didn't know they were taking it there.
So they just told me, let's go, you go with so and so to Naivasha. We will be having lunch tomorrow. And it was really good.
It used to be the spa until we stayed the private villas. Ooh, I love the private villas. But the spa is relaxing. Oh, the spa is amazing. I personally would never be found in a spa. First, my legs are very ticklish, so you're not touching my legs. But just the experience of welcoming you, they take time to explain what it is that they're doing. They give you the options of a treatment and they ask you questions that, you know, and when you go through the treatment and you come out, you're actually refreshed. Never had an experience like that. The spa was far outstanding. Recently, we had an opportunity to stay in the private villas, which are amazing. The art, the just when you walk in the ambience, there's this thing about Enashipai. The design you find on the bed, on the head there, is the same design you'll find on the tables. It's the same design they have on their chair. So there's this consistency, such small things. It's detail that I easily pick up, maybe just because of my creative background. So it's an experience. You walk into a place and you know the place is well taken care of. The food is amazing. If you stay in the private villa, they will bring you food. It was an awesome experience.
Ubuntu has enjoyed a very good partnership with Enashipai. This is because every time I was being pushed by our partners on the other side of the world in the US, they were telling me, could you find locals who could be able to just believe in what we do and support what you're doing? And yeah, back in 2017, we had all the staff of Enashipai come visit our children with special needs, and they prepared like a restaurant experience for children with special needs. And that was so amazing. They prepared all the food here, like the whole 9 yards. They did everything from the starters to the main meal to dessert. We had a very big cake and lots of gifts for children with special needs, just to make sure that they feel like they are appreciated. And that was huge because Enashipai took it upon themselves to raise awareness about children with special needs. They were letting the guests know that we are in partnership, and that was very powerful for us. I love how the leadership has been. Because they are very much in touch with what is happening around them. That heart of kindness is so unique because we shared, they didn't rush into it. They got to know me a little more. They got to visit, to see the children, even before the visit. And so we did a few things. And that kindness was so amazing. Because some people are in hospitality, but they are not hospitable. And hospitality is not just taking care of guests. It's also thinking about those people who are around you. So when we shared and I told them what we do, they were like, oh, we would want Enashipai to participate with what you're doing. They made sure that it is a relationship. It is not transactional, that you come here and do business and then you leave. It's very transformational. Like the children got to enjoy something that they may never enjoy. And that was very special for me as well.
I've been here in the past on CSR activities. 2 years ago, I came and we went to a school across the road. This densely populated community here called Mirera. There's a school called Mirera Primary School. It has the largest number of students in Kenya. It has 3,700 students. Number one in student population in the whole of Kenya is a school over here. And Enashipai went there, built a large modern library and equipped it. So you've asked me to rate them. What would I rate them?
This Mirera is not just an ordinary school. With its numerical strength of 3,500 plus pupils, that is as far enrollment is concerned. This school at one time used to be one of the biggest schools, East and Central Africa, not only in Kenya. But after some time, it was decongested to Robiri Primary School, which currently has a population of 1,000 plus pupils. So why it's not of the decongestion, these schools would still be one of the leading schools in Kenya. Immediately I was posted here, the Enashipai had a project in the school. And the project to me is a landmark, the library project, J.K. Mwangi project. Allow me at this juncture to appreciate that gentleman. And may his soul rest in eternal peace. To me, that gentleman had a big vision for education. To me, he had a big dream of thinking about the future of our country. And the future of our country is only in education. So he decided to invest in education. So to me, that is not something that as Mirerians we can take for granted.
Katika hii miaka 10 Enashipai imekuwa ikiendelea, wamejaribu sana na waweke Mungu mbele, atawamiminia baraka na itakuwa mzuri.
A 5-star facility gives reassurance to the client. Enashipai's quality service is excellent. And I know they have won various awards over the last years for this. Their spa, their meetings, and also the hotel. This gives good positioning for the destination. And also for the hotel, they stand out. The ambience here and the quality service, the staff, how everything flows is really what will make you as a traveler want to come back. So I congratulate them for the 5-star rating, because I think this is the only place in this area that is 5-star rated, and that already puts them apart from competition and gives Kenya more products to be able to competitively place there out in the market and say, here we are and we are proud of our homegrown product that is authentic and that meets global standards. That is different. It is not just these usual global brands that have uniformity in quality service and standards. It is a homegrown brand. It has some authenticity in it. There is this Kenyanness that you find here that you want to associate with it again. So that is commendable to them.
For your 10 years, it's no mean feat. Congratulations. It is no mean feat. I mean, let's not think about this last year. I mean, what they have been able to achieve in the last years. It's really, really good. It's a beautiful place. The staff are amazing. You have created good culture. Congratulations to the whole team. Continue doing what you do best, and we will support you in the next 10 by God's grace.
If the standard is kept, continuous innovation, proper corporate and business practices, 10 years from now, Enashipai, I don't know whether they want to expand or open another wing or another hotel, but this place, the sky is the limit. And I really congratulate them. Yeah, as the person in charge of tourism in this county, we are very proud of Enashipai.
Congratulations on the double digits. 10 years is a fantastic milestone to celebrate. Really celebrating the Enashipai team for the consistency and what you've offered over the years. Where, you know, we know we'll come, we'll find the same smiling faces. That consistency has been amazing to see throughout. And just to say, you know, keep going, and we look forward to keep coming back.
So congratulations, Enashipai, 10 years and you're still standing. We're so proud of you. I mean, guys, it's a big achievement. Congratulations, and thank you for always supporting the brands, the different brands that you've worked with, including myself. Thank you for keeping our lights on, and thank you for keeping your lights on so that we can work together.
I think after 10 years, it's time for us to, you know, take a step back and, you know, think about how far we've come. We have a good number of our staff who've been with us for those 10 years. So I think for us, really, it's time to, you know, just slow down and think about, you know, where we've come from. Take time to be grateful for, you know, the time that we've been given and all the good things that we've done. Take time to appreciate ourselves. Those of us who are here, take time to appreciate the staff. And I'm sure those are some things that will be coming up this year. So it's time for us to reflect, but at the same time, it's time for us to think, you know, what's the next 10 or 20 years going to look like? And do we have what it takes to get there? So I think that's really now where we need to be thinking. What's it going to take for us to take, you know, the next 10 years coming up?
First of all, I tell them to celebrate it. The culture of celebrating success or achievements is not a big one. And I say that in all honesty because a lot of people celebrate it externally. I'd like them to celebrate it for themselves.
10 years is a very, very, very short time in a business cycle. And to me, we haven't even reached adolescence. So we are beginning now. This is the youthful years. So we're beginning to get to that where growth and energy, one can feel it. So for the staff who've been with us for many years, there are many more years to come. For our guests, I can tell you that Enashipai continues to hold to its position as the most preferred. 2018, the last ranking, we were still a 5-star hotel and the only 5-star hotel in that region. We will keep those standards. For the families, this is a great place to bring your family to come and see the great Lake Naivasha and the hippos, to come and experience the tranquility of this place. For the business community, this is a great place to hold your conferences, to bring your small or large conferences. I was there when this hotel held its first conference for Rotary in 2014, and I can only tell you that it has been improvement throughout. And therefore, yeah, my encouragement to the business community and families, let Enashipai be your place of choice.
Really, as a tourism sector, we are happy with the Enashipai. I personally congratulate them for their 10th anniversary. Well done, guys. You have made Kenya proud. And I'd like to invite our minister. Here is a clip from our minister.
Today, we are here to congratulate Enashipai Resort and Spa, which are based in Naivasha. And they are celebrating 10 years anniversary. Mine to say congratulations. Enashipai has introduced a new product in Naivasha and also a new product in Kenya. So congratulations, keep it up.